A video game developer has shut down after hiring Sweet Baby Inc. to consult on its now final and last video game. Before we get into this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. I wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. And the development team behind Shadow Gambit, the Cursed Crew, has indeed shut down, noting that their costs were exceeding their revenues. This is what Sweet Baby Inc. posted to their LinkedIn back in August. We are sad to learn that Shadow Gambit, the Cursed Crew, is Mimimi's last game. We're incredibly proud to have helped this final voyage to shore by collaborating on the game's protagonist, Afia, with Matthias Kraut, Moritz Wagner, and the rest of the crew at Mimimi Games, GmbH. Our collaboration helped make the world of the Cursed Caribbean feel more inclusive and representative. Very happy to see that players have resonated the game, as evidenced by its incredible reception. The Mimimi team is amazing and deserves to land on their feet. We would be happy to connect folks in our network who are looking for talented developers with the studio. Send us a DM if you are interested. Mimimi Games and its founders, Dominic Abe and Johannes Roth, announced the company was shutting down at the end of August 2023, writing in a blog post, "It is with a heavy heart that today we have to share the news that Shadow Gambit, the Cursed Crew, will be Mimimi's final game. As we look back at our 15-year journey crafting games and crying about it, we feel grateful for the incredible love and support we received from all of you. We cherish every game we made and feel proud of what we were able to accomplish as a studio. At the same time, dedicating the past decade and a half of our lives working on increasingly ambitious games took a heavy personal toll on us and our families. After the release of Shadow Gambit, we decided it was the right time to prioritize our well-being and to pull the brakes instead of signing up for another multi-year production cycle." However, later in the explanation, they detailed that the company's costs were growing more than its revenues. This is what they wrote. "Making these games was amazing and extremely taxing at the same time. Reaching the level of quality Mimimi strives for is hard and requires focus and dedication. We also have to acknowledge that our future production costs are growing faster than potential revenues of our genre. The increased financial pressure and level of risk became unsustainable. Additionally, whenever our games got close to release and were finally fun to play, a new fight for funding of the following projects started, making this a continuous cycle." They then shared, "As founders and directors, we found it increasingly difficult to strike a balance between fulfilling internal expectations for the studio and being available for our young families. Meeting our goals of quality, company culture, and management requires a constant level of energy that we simply can't provide anymore. Ramping down the company and making Shadow Gambit our final game is an extremely tough decision. We never expected this would be how Mimimi ends, but if even one of us were to break down, fail, or burn out, the situation would escalate quickly. Ultimately, managing a production on this scale, in combination with an extremely competitive market, proved to be too taxing for us. In light of all of the above, we decided to pull the brakes." So it's unclear exactly whether or not Shadow Gambit lost them money, but I think it's probably safe to say that it did. They're talking about how their costs are exceeding their revenues. One can only imagine that the cost to develop this game exceeded the revenues that they obtained from it. I think it has sub 10,000 reviews on Steam when I was looking at it earlier today, indicating it probably didn't get a lot of purchases and probably did not recoup its costs. So Sweet Baby Inc., another game that it touched, has turned into a disaster, it looks like. And now the company that was behind it, the development company that was behind it that brought in Sweet Baby Inc., is shutting down. You really can't make this stuff up. Anytime this company touches a product, it seems to negatively affect it. And that is now why there is a massive boycott. Last I checked, I think it was over 350,000 people were following Cabrutus Rambo's Steam curator list, which does not recommend any game that Sweet Baby Inc. is attached to that is available to purchase on Steam. This game was on that list. But let me know what you guys make of another game seemingly not doing well. This is we've seen Spider-Man 2, obviously not a game that's available on Steam, but it looks like their sales for that game were half of what the original Spider-Man was. And that was a game that Sweet Baby Inc. consulted on. We've seen from Warner Brothers Discovery, David Zaslav, their CEO, admitting that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was an utter disaster. The CFO, I think his name is like Gunnar Wiedenfels, confirming that that game being a disaster sets up their entire year for their video game segment being a disaster. That's how massive the losses were for that game. That game obviously being touched by Sweet Baby Inc. So lots of projects that Sweet Baby Inc. has touched are doing terribly. But and this is just another one here, Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew from Mimimi Games. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know what you make of Mimimi Games shutting down after Sweet Baby Inc. consulted on the game and then revealing that their costs were exceeding their revenues. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.